up on its wheels, and then look at the power. Woo!
That's not scale, so.
Good job, it's the sports model. Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to HobbyKing.com. Here to present to you a classic from a few years back, something you've been wanting for a while. We've heard all the comments and all the requests for this to come back, and it's come back in a better form, and it is the very muchly, hotly anticipated, I should say, Grand Tundra 2. Okay, yes, so here it is, Grand Tundra 2, or V2 if you like. Now, the most noticeable thing is the color scheme. One of my favorites, fluoro green. I do like that on as many models as possible, as you can probably tell from the lineup of some of the recent HobbyKing offerings. Physically, it's the same size, it's the same 1700mm span. It's now running, it's on an ATM speed controller, but it's the Aerostar G2 RVS, so it has the instant reversing. We'll give you a demonstration of that a little later on when we get out to the official flight review. The motor, and as I say that, the turbine's just starting up. Excuse that, I'll talk up a little louder. The motor is the Turnigy SK3 Gen 2, and it's a 50-55 500 kV brushless outrunner, and of course that's controlled by that ATM Aerostar G2 that I mentioned. Servo-wise, it's a mix of 9 gram and 17 grams throughout, and these are digital and metal geared. Now, I've mentioned the motor already. The propeller, it comes with a 6S prop, which is a 15x8. You can use a bigger prop, a 16x8, for an optional 4S setup. This is 6S out of the box and it flies extremely well, lots of power, pretty much unlimited vertical. But if you're looking for something a little bit calmer, told you it was 𝒕𝒓𝒊𝒍𝒊𝒕𝒚 flying. If you're looking for something a little more calmer and sedate, you can of course run the 4S. You just need to change for your own supplied 16x8 or thereabouts propeller. Flight times are of course related to capacity, and on the 6S setup you can run anything from a 3,500 up to say a 5,000, and on a 4S anything from a 4,000 right up to 5,500 or even a 6,000. There's bags of room in there, which I'll show you in a second. And I'll show you that because now we're going to talk about the changes to the Grand Tundra 2. So let's dive into the changes, and we'll start pretty much at the front, but at the top of the front. I'll take the magnetically held hatch. Oh, and whilst I'm doing that, that reminds me, my radio is keeping it down in the wind. There are two optional hatches. There is the obviously the standard canopy hatch, and then we still include the FPV hatch if you want to do some FPV flying with it. There's a hatch that you can use to mount your FPV camera and equipment. So back to the standard setup, opening the big cavernous hatch here, nice bit of Avios branding underneath there, and I think it's best if I put it up on its nose to give you guys a better look inside. Now I've got to get up on my tippy toes. I mean, I am 6 foot, but this is quite a sizable model. And if you can see there, I'm hoping you can, I'm looking in the reflection of the camera to see where I'm pointing. We have a battery tray now, and this is a spring-loaded battery tray, and it's got some, I guess you call them keys or hooks. I'll take it out and explain. First of all, I will just unplug it, if I can do that like this. There we go, XT90 of course on there. You push down on this spring, there you go, that's a spring-loaded latch, I guess you'd call that. And then the tray itself has got like a tooth and groove system, and you just slide it forward, and then out she comes. This battery tray is of course sporting the Turnigy Bolt X that we will be flying this on today. This is the 4500 6S, perfect pack for the Grand Tundra, and gives you a little more pack as well, a little more punch as well. Have your straps with that, and you very simply just strap your battery in the position that you desire for your optimal CG, although the CG is of course given as a guide in the quick setup guide and the manual. And then it stays like that. You can also charge it like that, and that's fine, and then you just slide it back in when you're ready to go. Lock it down with the spring-loaded latch. Now I'm going to put the model back down, put it back together, and we'll carry on with the other changes of the Grand Tundra 2. Okay, so now I'm going to pick the radio up and hope that the FPV hatch doesn't blow away. First of all, to give you a indication of the throws. Now this is on high rates, and I'm talking about the throws just because our cameraman here, Andres, he really likes to play around with this somewhat 3D model. I'd say it's pretty 3D, right?
It can hover pretty well.
Yeah, it's definitely got the power.
It's a 3D model.
Yeah.
And if you put the floats on,
yes,
the knife edge becomes super neutral.
And the float, good mention there. The floats are optional with this. They should be available on the site, but just check out the throws. Really, really nice big throws on the rudder there as well, with the linked steerable tail wheel, and then the ailerons there, massive amounts of throw on high rates. And also, whilst I've got your attention, look at the flaps, full 90-degree flaps as the Grand Tundras always have. But if you notice here on the LEDs, they are now on a switch, at least the ones on the leading edge are. So flaps go up, and I program that for the lights to go off when the flaps are up and to come on when the flaps are down. Now you need a spare channel and maybe a 2 or 3 position switch. If you actually have a 3 position switch in the middle, they can flash if you want. It's just a case of setting it up on your switch and adding it to a spare channel. So I'll put that radio back down there. Now, one of the other major changes, improvements if you like, the original Tundra did have some issues with the tail wheel not being strong enough. It's the same tail wheel design essentially, but it's been massively strengthened. This is much stronger material, and we've changed the mechanism of it somewhat, and it's now bulletproof. That will last many years, unlike the previous version, so you can have lots more confidence and faith in the tail wheel there. Now if I put it back down, we'll get on to the pièce de résistance, if you like, for bush type models, and let's talk about the wheels. Now it's probably the most evident feature of the Grand Tundra 2. It is these nice big bouncy wheels. Who doesn't like nice big and bouncy ones? I say bouncy, but actually they are fully inflatable. These are fully pneumatic. You just use a valve from a football to inflate them or deflate them as you wish. I actually prefer them quite soft, because then when it comes into land there really is no bounce at all. Really nice features. We've been testing these extensively. They really do not leak at all, and they've been holding up very well, and a really nice cool feature there. Not only is there's extra dampening with the soft air-filled wheels, but also you've got the rubber bungees on the fully actuated undercarriage too. A really cool feature of the Grand Tundra 2, and something that's perfectly at home on a STOL model, which of course this is. One of the classic STOL models out there. Talking about classics in history, if you'll notice on the tail it says 2017. That's when I first announced the original Grand Tundra, all those years ago actually, when I was out in Australia. So a little homage there to the original Grand Tundra. But as I said, it is a STOL model, and these types of setups and wheels are very much at home on a model like this. And to finish off, I'll just bring your attention to the front here for just a nice little optional detail. Alright, so when you're bolting on your motor, you will have a choice of a open nut or a domed nut. Personally, I prefer the open nut like this. Maybe in the country that you're flying that's not permitted. If that's not, then you've got the dome nut, or maybe you just prefer the aesthetics of the dome nut. You just take the open nut off and replace it with the dome nut. The choice is yours. Now in terms of assembly out the box, you probably need an evening to put it together. Whilst we have made all the screws hex head for added convenience, it still takes a little bit of time just to get it all together. Starting with the undercarriage, you bolt that on, and then you bolt the tail wheel on, then the tail plane, and then you get the wing struts on and slide the wings on, and that's essentially it other than setup. The only other thing you need to do, and this is the only thing that requires glue, is just the glue on the vortex generators along the leading edge. They are pre-painted out of the box, and then it's just set up on radio. Speaking of setup, we are flying with the orange FrSky X14, and the model file that I'm using today will be available on the downloads tab of the listing for the Grand Tundra 2. And with that in mind, I think we'll probably have a coffee, let the wind die down a little bit more, and maybe let the light die down a little bit more as well, so you can get a little more of a understanding of just how nice the lights are on the GT2. And we'll take it out, and what will seem like in just a few seconds in the edit, that's the power of editing, we'll give you the official flight review of the Grand Tundra 2. Okay, so we're out here. The sun is actually not setting, it's just gone annoyingly behind a bank of cloud. That's where the LEDs come in. And we're gonna go straight into the flight review of the Grand Tundra. Taxi it around first just to show you guys. The elastic on the wheel, I've not really set. It could do with another wind. As you can see, it's splaying out a little, but that's easily adjusted with the rubber bands. But I will just go straight into a no flap takeoff. Up on its wheels, and then look at the power. Woo!
That's not scale, sir.
Good job as the sports model. Look at the red light at the tail though. Really nice. Oh, straight into it. I've forgotten how much I love this thing. I'll put the flaps on, because that's what it's all about. I remember now when I first flew did the first video of the V1, I was flying it in a park in Australia, back when things like that were permitted more easily. And there was trees around there, but I was probably flying it in about the same space. How's that looking?
Gorgeous.
Look at that.
I've flown the V1 so much.
Yeah.
I've had such a good time with it.
Oh, and we had the earlier sample, a little tidbit for you, and I passed it over to Andres, and he's got a 𝒂𝒂𝒃𝒊𝒍𝒊𝒕𝒚 as well, which he converted to pure glider configuration, and of course we did excellent towing with the Grand Tundra. I forgot to mention on the talking heads that it's got the tow mounting point.
Yep. And actually recently we made a bit of a cock-up, and well, basically the glider was pointing vertical, the Tundra was horizontal. I was going full throttle and it got a tack of a tow on the rope.
All right.
And no damage.
No damage.
I was so surprised, because that was basically a worst case scenario.
Well, we're going to talk a little bit more about durability when I fudge a landing, because yeah, you can have the undercarriage as soft or as hard as you like. Mine's a little on the soft side, as I'll show when I dump it down in a bit. But anyway, that's full flaps. I'm going to do a little touch and go now, just keeping it in. This is how I like to fly the Tundra. Of course, we'll get into some aerobatics and stuff like this, but this is how I like to do the Grand Tundra, especially full flaps with those lights looking really, really nice. Let's bring it in for a touch and go. Maybe even try a cheeky one-wheeled one. Settles in very nicely. A little bit of opposite rudder. There we go. A little bit of, still one wheel. And then away she blows. Whee! And then this, of course, is just stick banging. There we go. Makes any pilot look like a pro. Don't ask me what that was called. Maybe Andres can tell us.
Fantastic.
Yeah, fantastic. Now you notice the lights have gone off on the leading edge. That is because I've got them on that switch. So I'll bring it around, and as flaps come down, you'll see not only does it barely pitch up, but the flaps come on. All right, let's do some fast stuff. Bring it around. Let's just do some banking and yanking at the moment. Very, very fast. This is 6S LIHV, of course. On this one, we're running those new Bolt X packs, like a Reno racer now. Ridiculous if you want it to be.
I've tried the towing on both the Tundra Heavy Duty and the Bolt, and for less weight, I got a full extra tow, and it's just more power.
Very, very nice.
Yeah, I was super impressed.
Now let's get straight into it. Let's do a knife edge now. It needs a bit of coordination in the knife edge, but there we go. What's it called? Coupling, that's the word I was looking for. Yeah, it just about holds it. Oh, it in fact holds it very well. It's just I'm not the best at knife edge. That red light on the tail really helping.
Yeah, the rudder's very capable.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a high-wing plane, so you're going to have some coupling on the roll.
There we go. Yeah, it's holding it, A little bit of coupling there. Anyway, people that like knife edges will not be disappointed there. Let's get it inverted. Very, very nice inverted. Slow it down. Do a little circuit like this. Very neutral, just holding a tad of down. Now the flashing light's on the bottom. Of course, you can really see it now, look. There we go. And then I'll bunt out of that because I can. I've got power to spare. Right, let's do some just loops and rolls. We've got reverse thrust as well, I can show you that. So looping now, as big as you like. Low rate roll now. Yes, please. That was low. There's no wind now, so I'll come in the opposite direction and show you high. Again, these settings are all on the X14 model memory file. That's high, both directions. Pretty crazy if you want it to be. And then let's get into some very low, I'll show you the STOL. So this is the STOL full flaps now, okay? So I'm gonna go mid rates. See the flashing light there, lovely. And I'm now gonna feed in up elevator until I go to full up elevator, and it just kind of does that. Got a vintage EDF going off there, very nice little meteor actually. But I shall not get distracted from the course. See if I'm faster than it? Yes, I am.
Really?
Oh no, it's pretty.
Oh, it's beating you.
Oh, vintage jet. But then it's not an EDF, it's a Grand Tundra. All right, let's try some touch and goes now. I'll show you if we dump it down. Let's do the flaps. Lights come on and I'll dump it a bit and you watch the undercarriage. By design, it's works really, really well. So you can really do boom, like that. See how it's splayed out? And it's fine. Obviously you wouldn't try to land like that, but if you happen to do it, you don't need to worry. Again, you can adjust the elastic bands that are provided, give them an extra wind or something like that, and that will be no trouble at all, get you a bit more stiffness. And let's do a landing now with flaps.
I just love the insane versatility of
yes.
this thing. Like you want to do some nice
that's a better one.
flaps down, not a problem. You want to act like a complete idiot and smash it around.
You can.
It's got your back. You want to do a basic iMac program? Not a problem, it's got the power.
Oh no, you said you was also doing some prop hanging.
Oh, yeah.
Now, again, I'm not a 3D pilot at all, but I'm gonna, I don't know, do what I see the cool kids doing and bring it around and see. I'll show you this lead's got the power for it. Okay, ready?
Keep it there, keep the pressure on the tail. There you go. Nice.
There you go. Hey, look, there we go. Oh, it's got it to do it, but I haven't got the skills for it.
I cheated a little bit on mine. I moved the servo rod on the rudder side all the way to the smallest one.
Okay. Well, again, that talks to the versatility. Now, the other thing I want to mention is even without the lights, look how that green is popping. Look at that. Really, really showing up nicely. This is actually like the smaller Tundra now, the V3. This is based on the full-size scheme of the aircraft that originally inspired the Tundra and the Grand Tundra, which was the Highlander, just aircraft Highlander. Put full flaps on again now, and let's get nice and slow, nice and slow. Look at that, vortex generators doing their thing.
Yeah, just for reference,
look at
there's
that.
pretty much no wind.
No, there is no wind now. Yeah, light wing loading doing its thing.
You're beating the train.
This is where I am with the Grand Tundra. I love doing this. But I think now I'm going to bring it, because it's getting quite dark for me now, so I'm going to bring it into land. And we'll just sign off on this. Here it is, look at that, look at that. And the reverse thrust, of course.
Nice.
Probably the best application for the reverse thrust, I think. I taxi that around and go into high rates now. You really see the bottom LED flashing there on the ground. That looks cool. So yeah, I think some worthwhile improvements on the Grand Tundra 2, and it's the model you know and loved and have missed, but with all those refinements and this very, very cool scheme. There is optional floats available for it. I think maybe if we get the opportunity, we will do a separate video for that, and maybe a little footage of us towing it with Vandreas's converted pure glider form Avios 𝒂𝒂𝒃𝒊𝒍𝒊𝒕𝒚. Yeah. But yeah, all in all, there's not really much else to say. I mean, those of you that know the Grand Tundra will appreciate that it's back, and those of you that don't or are looking for a big STOL sports aerobatic model with some really cool features, you can't go wrong with the Grand Tundra V2. Now, price, unfortunately, I'm no longer really involved in pricing, so I can't really say on that at this time, but I'm hoping it will be reasonably priced, and hopefully we'll have some parts available for it too, as we should do. Right, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time here on HobbyKing.